Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Fox and the Hound, a classic movie. It's not as old as I thought it was. It has a lot of that old school painted backgrounds and that really lush look to it with a lot of basically the old school form of animation. But this came out in 1981. 1981. It still even had the Buena Vista Pictures uh, logo at the beginning. It's not like a Walt Disney Pictures, no arcing, light above a castle or anything like you see with most Disney pictures. This has still got that old school look, but it is it's still considered a classic because it's got two adorable characters, at least in the first part of the film. Um, but hey, this is a story about two characters growing up who are technically natural enemies, um, being best friends, and seeing how the world sort of separates them and what becomes of them as a result. Uh, yeah, basically you have Copper and we have Todd. Todd is short for toddler because Todd is the fox. He is in a much quicker Bambi-esque start. Todd gets orphaned real quick in the first like 2 minutes, and yeah, it's a little bit rough for kids. Maybe, I don't know. Kids might be jaded by now. I have no idea. Um, but yeah, you end up with Todd gets Bambiized real quick. But the birds, in fact, an owl played by Pearl Bailey called Big Mama, and she sort of takes him in for a minute and enlists the help of some other birds to help Todd, who is not named Todd yet, find a home. And they lead him to a widowed older woman, human, and she sees that he's all alone. And she takes him in pretty much as a pet. And yeah, he's still a wild animal, and yeah, it's a little bit some little growing pains here with the other animals she has on her farm. This is like an early 1900s era thing. Everybody's driving like a Model T Ford, like a jalopy type of thing. I don't know. Maybe it's the 20s or the 30s. I have no idea. But it's uh, the only machines most people have, it seems, are cars and guns. So beyond that, she's raising a little young fox, and as we see him when he's basically a newborn, very very young, and then we see him when he's sort of a little kid, maybe about 8, 9, 10, I don't know, in human comparison anyway. I'm sure he's barely months old by the time he gets the way they grow. But he befriends really early a puppy who is taken in by the neighbor. He basically, I don't know where he gets it, but basically somebody had a puppy, and it's a hound dog meant for hunting, and he's probably the same guy. Maybe I wasn't looking right. But he's probably the same guy who killed Todd's mom, along with the dogs. Again, I don't. I should watch the beginning again, but in that whole chase, you don't really see the humans, but you know that there's dogs barking and there's gunshots, and you know that uh, it's a tragic scene. But he's got an old hound dog named Chief, and Chief is not as spry as he used to be. So this pup is under Chief's tutelage, along with the old guy named Amos, and they're planning on making him into a hunting dog. But he's still pretty young when he comes across Todd, and they become best friends. They're adorable. They're so cute. And believe it or not, the one doing the voice for young Copper, let me make absolutely sure. Yeah, it's young Copper, who is the dog, the puppy, is Corey Feldman. So that's the last time Corey Feldman was cute. I'm pretty sure. You can debate me on this if you like, but he provides the adorable voice for very young Copper, the pup, right there. Um, Todd, I'm not really sure. I don't recognize the name very well, but oh yeah, Keith Coogan. So he's done lots of other Disney stuff, I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna start clicking into his thing while you watch. That'd be annoying. Uh, but we end up with speaking of voices, I have to go through the list of voices as I normally do. By the way, again, Disney trope, dead parent for Todd here. So we got a number of other voices. We got Paul Winchell playing Boomer, one of the birds. He's a Tigger. It's just the guy who plays Tigger in the Winnie the Pooh. And he's not the only Winnie the Pooh character. There's a porcupine who is who does the voice of Piglet in the Winnie the Pooh animated films and shorts. John Fiedler. So yeah, you got those guys. Sorry, I'm checking my references. I'm touching my face, which I should not do in this time. But I'm all alone. I'm gonna wash and clean in this time. But so yeah, we have Pearl Bailey. We have the guys who do the voices for Winnie the Pooh. We got Corey Feldman, and to do the voices of the grown-up versions. Yes, we follow these characters through their lives. The grown-up Todd, the fox, is Mickey Rooney, iconic actor Mickey Rooney, sounding, of course, much younger than he is. But again, it's also 1981, so he is still technically younger. And Copper, the grown-up Copper, is Kurt Russell. So yeah, you got some great classic Disney names in there. So yeah, I don't want to tell you much more of the story if you haven't watched it. But all I can tell you is that, like a friend of mine, when I told her that I'm going to watch Fox and the Hound, she's like, oh, I don't like that movie. I'm like, why? I mean, I knew enough about the film, but honestly, I have to admit that I the last time I probably watched this, I was probably a little kid, or I never saw it because I was probably a little bit too old at the time when it came out. I wasn't going to watch a baby cartoon about puppies and foxes. I'm all grown up. Yeah, well, either way, I don't remember a majority of this, but you understood the concept behind it, that it's, a fox and a dog, and they become pals, and whatever happens probably creates drama, and there's action, adventure, but, it all works out, probably. Well, let's just say they revert to type as they get older, at least the dog does, because he goes away for 6 months, I guess, over the winter. They head south. The owner, the older dog chief, and Copper, they all head somewhere for 6 months. And when it comes back, Copper's really grown up, just as Todd has grown up as a fox under, the widow's in the widow's care. Now, Copper has done his share of hunting, and of course he's been away from Todd all this time. When they reconnect, it's not so much best friends forever anymore. And does Copper keep on being a dog, a hound dog, hunting dog? Or is he still best buddies with his little friend, Todd? And there lies in the conflict. And certain things happen that pull them apart. And the last quarter of the film, the last third of the film, I should say, it's only an hour and 24 minutes long. Yeah, an hour and 24 minutes long. The last quarter of the film is actually a very intense action adventure that might be a little harrowing for little kids, like 2, 3, 4 years olds. It's very intense because there's a big scary bear that gets involved, and he's not on anybody's side. He's on his own. When there's a hunter involved, and dogs, and foxes. Yes, there's another fox that shows up. By the way, it's a female fox. One of the things you learn as you grow up is that if your best friend as a kid doesn't get along with you anymore, you go looking for girls. Or girls pretty much pull you away from your best friend when you grow up a little bit. So your desire for pretty girls, for some of us, does a number on you. So yeah, Vexy, which is a pretty good name for a fox. Vexy, voiced by Sandy Duncan. By the way, I should have not looked at the credits beforehand, but I'm pretty sure if I looked at this fox and I knew that it was a Disney-based actor doing the voice, I could have probably guessed Sandy Duncan just by looking at the fox. I don't know why, but when you look at her, you think Sandy Duncan, and she's adorable. But, but yeah, so the conflict comes in between two best friends as they've grown up, and do they revert to type? Do they stay friends, or do they take the sides that they're expected? And what do they do to survive? So there's a number of things that exacerbate their situation, especially when the widow realizes that Amos next door has a dog that will hunt her fox. There's actually a scene where he's chasing the fox himself with the dogs, and there's like a little car chase, and the fox Todd jumps into the car with the widow, who is like going to town in her little jalopy to deliver milk, because like she has a cow and she sells milk, I guess, to make a living. He jumps in the car with her just to escape, and the guy is driving in his long johns because he's in such a scramble. He has a shotgun, and he's like shooting at the fox who's in the back of the truck with the woman driving. So yeah, he's willing to shoot at a woman to get to this little tiny fox. And well, that doesn't hit her, thankfully, but ruins blasts away at her cans of milk. Can you imagine if it would have hit her? Again, it's a Disney film, so you're not going to see a woman shotgun blast in the back of the head. That was a safe bet. That was not going to happen. But the poor lady, she pulled over and gave him an earful. So yeah, but she realized that as long as Todd was with her, it's going to cause trouble, and she didn't want to see him killed. So she has to make a hard choice, and that leads to a whole bunch of other stuff, which I will not ruin. But yeah, there's a lot of hard choices made in this movie. Will it work out in the end? Again, I will not tell you, but it's a Disney film, so you make your own choice. That's all I'm going to say about this film. I'm going to do something different today. For the first time ever since I started doing this series, except for the very first day, the day 0 with The Mandalorian, I am not going to choose a movie at random. I am going to, since it was released early onto Disney Plus yesterday, the 3rd, I'm going to choose what I'm going to watch tomorrow. And that is, as you might have figured out already, Onward. I didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters before all the theaters got closed down due to the coronavirus. And I've been dying to see this because I love the guys that are involved with it. Chris Pratt and Tom, why can't I say his name? Tom, come on. Spider-Man, little Spider-Man. Anyway, I'm just a little bit, tired. But hey, you know what? I'm going to choose this. This is the first time I'm doing this. It might be the only time I'm doing this. I didn't do it for Frozen because I had already, Frozen 2, because I'd already seen Frozen 2 in the theaters last year. So, but I'm dying to see this, and since I was going to watch it no matter what anyway, this just sort of works out. I am going to watch Onward, and you should do it too. And we're going to come back here tomorrow. I'm going to talk about it. All right? So, tomorrow, no scramble pick. But after that, we're going to go right back. I don't know if I'll ever do this again. I might, depending on how things work out with the selections. But I have a feeling I'm going to be updating. We're almost at 150. This is today 145 out of 145th day of our Disney Plus challenge. I'm soon ready to start refreshing this list with all the new entries once I can get them all listed. I've asked Disney Plus if they can just give me a list, but it's very secret and they won't give it to me, even though I don't care about any of the new secret stuff that's coming, or I just want to know what's there. I have a friend at Disney that is going to try to get that information for me. Did not happen because they're very secretive. So I'm going to have to go through manually and list out every single TV show and movie and break it down myself, which takes time. So by that time that happens, it will be, who knows, 250, 300. It's going to take a while. So for now, tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, Onward, the brand new film from Pixar. Let's meet back here tomorrow and talk about it. See you then. Bye.